Daniel Miller, how many seasons will Nick Bosa last before injury? Injury is a big concern for Bosa coming off.
It's a big concern for any player. It's NFL. It's football.
I think it's also amplified by the fact that Joey Bosa has also dealt with injuries.
Sure. I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at Nick Bosa as the best prospect in this year's draft, and a lot of people, they're going to get mad at the injury, but I also think he didn't play because, money decision. At the end of the day, he's like, I'm probably going to be the first overall pick. I'm going to sit out, and I'm going to make a whole bunch of money and just get ready for the draft. And if you're not 100% healthy, best way to get healthy, train, exercise, prepare. I personally like Nick Bosa a lot.
Stephan Remer, Packers trade up for an impact pass rusher. I actually don't know if they need to move up.
What are they, 12?
They're 12. I figure that one of Brian Burns, Ja'Kai Polite, Montez Sweat, I think for sure, are going to be on the board there. And yeah, they're not Josh Allen and they're not Nick Bosa, but you're not going to be able to get to 1, 2, or 3 anyway to get those guys.
Fair. No, I mean, they need a lot. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, you could argue that the Packers have one of the worst rosters, and if they didn't have Aaron Rodgers, man, they'd be a top 5 team probably.
All right, Regio, who are the best free agents this year? Well, go subscribe to us, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Check some of our recent videos. We did a top free agents list. The best one for both of us, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yep,
along with a bunch of defensive players this year.
Just going to say, it's like defensive end, linebacker, and then we got 24 more, so go check it out.
All right, to go next up here, Cory Thompson. He says Devin White for the Lions. Linebacker, I don't consider to be a massive need. I think you're banking on Jarrad Davis to continue to improve.
Yep.
Christian Jones is a passable starter, I guess. Jalen Reeves-Maven is back from injury. So I don't think you want to pair Devin White along with Jarrad Davis there. I think you kind of you stay with what you got there. Spend maybe a mid or late round pick, but I would rather go invest in an edge rusher or a defensive lineman instead.
Fair enough.
Although I do love White quite a bit.
Next question is coming from, are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Is Myles Garrett a superstar?
I think so. I mean, maybe not like on the same level as a Von Miller, Khalil Mack, and I know Baker's kind of taken all of his stardom.
Yep.
But he's still a superstar player as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, he's unbelievably talented. I mean, I think he went number 1 in the draft for a reason, and he's only going to continue to grow. And I mean, he's a freak athlete, had a freakish
13.5 sacks this year.
He's a great player. But like you said, he got covered up, I think, a little bit by the magic of what is Baker Mayfield.
All right, Rocco DeBoss says the Giants will pick Clelin Ferrell. I could see that. If they don't go quarterback, I think they're looking in 2 different ways there. All right, looking at an offensive lineman, or they're looking at an edge rusher like a Clelin Ferrell, a Brian Burns, a Polite, someone in that range. Because those are the 2 other big needs as far as I'm concerned.
Maybe they should go quarterback.
Daniel Miller, why does Tom look like he's 5'0"? Tom sitting on a phone book. I happen to slouch, but I'm actually taller than you, Mitch.
Mitch is Tom sitting on a phone book.
Yeah,
no,
2 different questions.
Tom's taller than me.
Yeah, I just slouch, so that's what's going on there.
And
I'm actually 6 foot tall, believe it or not.
And I'm not.
Yeah, I am taller than Mitch. Go figure, right? You don't have to believe us, but that's the truth. By the way, who's better? T for Tom, M for Mitch. Oh, who's taller? There you go. Let's see if they believe me or not.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's definitely taller, but y'all, I don't know. You might want to type T for Tom. Tom's a pretty nice guy.
Thank you.
You got it. Go ahead and subscribe to youtube.com/DallasCowboys.
You were thinking of something so dirty, you just didn't say it, didn't you? Didn't you? Oh, I'm so right there. All right, T for Tom, M for Mitch. Keep using hashtag NFL to get your comments on air. Daniel Miller, how much Tavor do you drink on air?
Enough to get by. What up, my man?
There you go. You had that ready to go, didn't you?
Dude, I freaking love Tavor. And if you guys like craft beer, go to Tavor.com. Daniel, I know you're one of my loyal watchers. Check us out there. Tavor.com. Sign up is for free, and then use promo code ChatSports for $10 off your very first purchase. Also, tell me the craft beer you get, because I want to know, because I'm trying to restock my fridge, because the beer here at work, we're running out a little bit. I think we're just drinking too much of it.
Maybe. All right, Robotic NFL, hashtag NFL, you're using the right hashtag there.
That's
do the Broncos draft a quarterback? I think they absolutely do.
They need to.
Like,
Case Keenum sucks.
He's a stopgap. That's what he is.
Type S if Case Keenum sucks.
They didn't even use him well either.
Sure, but he was with the Vikings, and the Vikings have way more talent on offense, and then he goes to the Broncos. They trade away Demaryius Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders gets hurt.
Look, all I can speak of in facts is that the Vikings got worse when Case Keenum left.
You're not wrong.
Wins aren't a quarterback stat. Moving on, Recondite Red. you think the Browns are going to an edge rusher to pair with Myles Garrett? If so, which options do you see? By the way, thinks that you could pull off blonde hair very well. I think you could too, by the way. Now, in terms of edge rushers, I am curious which route they go. I don't know if they'd spend a round 1 pick on it. I think they might target interior. If there's a great player on the board, the way the Browns are set up, frankly, with limited needs, that will allow them
Isn't that crazy
to
to
go.
say?
I know. And AFC North champs, by the way, Browns, book it.
Oh, man.
Record this and then tweet at it to me in December when they've already clinched. When it comes to the Browns, though, you could go edge rusher. You could go defensive line. Yep. I think the benefit for the Browns is that Jannard Avery basically is that second guy coming off the edge.
Okay.
I think he might play more Sam this year for the Browns, at least on first down, but he also brings pass rushing ability there.
Hey, man.
That's just me. Real Thor 89. Should the Vikings pursue a deep threat in free agency, or should they draft a wide receiver? I mean, if you get somebody cheap, of course.
Yeah.
But Minnesota's pretty much capped out. I mean, they might not be able to afford Anthony Barr. So I would go draft somebody else instead.
I would love for Anthony Barr to go to the Raiders.
There you go. So I would draft somebody. I think it's just better use of capital in terms
especially
of
because
money.
the wide
and draft
receivers that are
picks.
speedsters this year, like Deshaun Jackson, he's not going to take a pay cut. I can guarantee that.
Yeah,
so.
he doesn't want to be a third or fourth option.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to be, third or fourth option. Because guess what? Thielen, Diggs, big time.
Broncos for life. Will Denver cut? Emmanuel Sanders. I think so.
I'd be absolutely astonished if they didn't. So right now, if they cut Emmanuel Sanders, they're going to be able to save $10.5 million next year. And Emmanuel Sanders has been great, but he's coming off a really bad injury. They drafted Sean Hamilton. They drafted Courtland Sutton. And they're just kind of in a little bit of a rebuild. So I just don't see them keeping Emmanuel Sanders.
Jack Smith. Which playoff team drops off next season? Do you want to trigger Dom, or should I trigger Dom?
Well, technically, they're not a playoff team.
Oh, see how I did that? It's a double burn. Got her.
Just saying, what playoff team is going to fall off?
Typically looking for teams that had kind of an odd win-loss differential. A team that won a lot of close games, which actually kind of describes the Cowboys a little bit there. I honestly could see Dallas being an option there. And the Super Bowl curse isn't really real, but you kind of have to include the Rams, I feel like,
Fair enough, yeah. I don't think the Rams should have been in the Super Bowl to begin with.
If Seattle keeps trying to make Schottenheimer happen as their OC, they might drop off a little bit. But typically, you see 4 teams every year go from making the playoffs to missing it.
Somebody comments the Raiders. If the Raiders drop off more than what they did, I might have to close shop here at Chat Sports.
Prestyn Schmidt, do the Seahawks have a reasonable chance to get Antonio Brown? Maybe. I don't think so. They're not in desperate straits at wide receiver. Doug Baldwin's played well. Tyler Lockett had a breakout year. And their new MO is that we want to run the football.
Yep.
So I don't think they'd invest enough in Antonio Brown, or be willing to invest enough.
So luckily for you, you're going to be seeing a video. So turn on your notifications. Subscribe to youtube.com/chatsportstv. I'm dropping a video tomorrow, ranked all 31 teams that could trade for Antonio Brown. So check that one out tomorrow. Turn those notifications on. Do it.
Wayne Suchy, what's the chance the Steelers go for C.J. Mosley in free agency?
You need a linebacker.
It's a fit. I don't know how Baltimore would feel about that.
That's what I mean.
I hadn't really considered
C.J.
that.
Mosley, Antonio Brown, straight up.
That's intriguing to me. I think that's a fun idea. I don't know if they would.
Maybe C.J. Mosley, if they don't pay him, he takes vengeance.
Big Blue for life. Is Jarrett Stidham better than how he looked at Auburn because of the lack of talent around him? Here's the thing. I feel like we pretend that Auburn didn't have talent.
Yep.
They had talent. I'm sure it's not Alabama talent. It's not Oklahoma talent.
People are just spoiled.
Kerryon Johnson was a round 2 pick on the ground.
Yep.
And the biggest thing for me with Jarrett Stidham is that when he was tasked with making plays at Auburn, he consistently did not do it. He never elevated his play when it mattered, never elevated the players around him. So sure, I guess you can make the argument there. I'm not a big believer in Jarrett Stidham, though, in the end.
I am not either.
Even though I thought he had some real upside entering last year. That's just me. Edward, I'm not going to butcher your last name, so Edward Q, who could be a good wide receiver target in round 3 or 4. So.
Quezada.
Is that how you say it?
That's what I'm going to go with.
He's talking about the Jets here. There are a bunch of different guys that make sense. I think you're looking more for an outside guy, maybe a bigger option.
I mean, they got Quincy Enunwa, who they've already re-signed.
Who's
Robbie
slack
Anderson
guy, who's
is
your
a
speed guy.
So, Antonio Brown's an interesting name, but I don't think it's going to happen.
The Jets seem to like their receiving core. I'm sure someone will slide that makes some sense. I'd say a bigger body target.
Predicting third and fourth round picks is really difficult.
If he slides, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside would be a fantastic fit.
Okay.
I think. All right, Peter Vermaak. Tottenham just built a 62K seat stadium, NFL specifications, locker rooms, and pitch applied to Extra 12 sports matches. So, Raiders in London 2019.
No.
I don't think the Raiders like the idea of playing all of their games overseas.
And I don't think any NFL team would.
No player does.
Travel schedule would be absolutely terrible. Personally, I think this is bloody terrible.
All right. Daniel Miller, how many Chucky heads, Mitch? The Raiders will be the best in the AFC in the next 3 years. How many Chucky heads?
I'm going to give it 2 Chucky heads.
Oh, bullshit.
No, in all honesty, guys, I'd probably only give it 1, and that'd be like 1% chance. They're still dealing with Patrick Mahomes, who's actually pretty good, in case you didn't know that, and Philip Rivers isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but that's a tough one. They're in the toughest division in the NFL right now.
Patriot God, who will be the biggest free agent to hit the open market, meaning actually be available? So cross off DeMarcus Lawrence. Who you got, Mitch?
I'd say either Trey Flowers, which I still don't even know if he's going to hit the open market. Frank Clark is an interesting name to me.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
I'll throw out
Brandon
2 names.
Graham.
I'll throw out 2 bigger names, I think. Earl Thomas, because I think they'll tag Frank Clark. He'll hit the open market. And then you just mentioned him, Bell. I think they'll hit the open market as well. Landon Baptista, Chiefs to be the next Patriots? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see that right now. The Patriot way isn't repeatable.
That's what I mean.
It's you can borrow elements and have success using it, but you're not going to have a 20-year dynasty. I don't think it's repeatable right now.
They've been to the AFC Championship game 9 out of the last 11 years.
It's mind-boggling.
Stupid. You know what you should do? Go to chatsports.com/bet and put money on the Patriots because it's an easy win every year.
Robotic, can Courtland Sutton be a wide receiver number 1 if Emmanuel Sanders goes? I think that's the goal. There's some upside there. I don't think he's going to be a Antonio Brown or maybe a better comp size-wise, DeAndre Hopkins type number 1.
I think he's a 1B.
Yeah, put him with a good number 2.
Yeah.
And maybe that's John Hamilton. I don't know. I think that'll be a good option there.
Yeah, I 1B kind of wide receiver.
Are you feeling it now? Mr. Krabs out here trolling, asking if Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas is the best safety core. Well, Cam Chancellor is not playing anymore, so the answer to that one is no. Terrance Yoder, who will the Falcons pick in the first round? I think they're going interior defensive line or edge rusher, and there'll be plenty of guys there. Ja'Kai Polite, Brian Burns, Rashawn Gary, Jeffrey Simmons, someone along those lines that I think makes a lot of sense.
Fair enough. I want this next one to get up real quick here. Daniel Miller. Prediction, who will New England play in the Super Bowl next season? I'm going with the Saints. They should have played them this year.
Yeah, I like that Saints pick there. Bears, maybe?
Who
Mitchell Trubisky takes that big step forward. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section.